Greetings, gelatinous cubes. Today we brawl with the bikers of Staten Island and dine with the dinner goers of Des Moines. Only thing I'll say is, they could have at least gone to jail for a month. Kendra?
What?
We're so back.
Where were you?
I don't even know, to be honest.
Where was May?
I kind of blacked out a little bit.
You
Does May
skipped
exist?
over May.
Does May exist?
Honestly, I can't be sure.
Not in the Gazette calendar because it is June 1st.
June 1st. Welcome back, Blake.
Thank you, Kendra.
I missed you.
Welcome back, Kendra. I missed you as well.
Thank you.
And welcome
It's
back,
good to see your
audience.
face.
We missed you.
We missed you. We're so sorry.
I'm Blake.
Oh my gosh, I'm Kendra. Don't forget about us.
And this is
Ghosts of the Gazette, where old news brings on new voices.
And, well, forgotten headlines come back to life.
Oh my gosh, it's August now.
Oh no,
Oh,
it took
no.
too long. We skipped over June, we skipped over July.
Oh no.
It's the end of August.
No, we ain't going down. We're going to be here. Don't worry. Don't you guys worry.
Don't worry.
We're here.
We'll be here in 2 weeks from
We
now
got
as well.
some Gazette news
We
for you.
got some Gazette. We got
It's
some
not
ghosts.
about the deer, but it's Gazette.
It's not about the deer?
Aren't gazettes deer?
Gazelles.
Gazelles.
There you have it,
Anyways.
folks. A classic little Kendra mix-up.
Hilarious. Anyways, yeah, happy June. We went on our vacation. We had a lot of fun.
It was so great
It
that we
was
stayed
so
there
great.
for a month and a half.
A month and a half. No, 5 days was more than enough. I think the 7 was pretty rough.
Yes, we got very sick.
Yeah.
Our kid got sick.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
got sick. Blake got sick.
I got sick.
Yeah.
And now we're back.
It
And
wasn't
we're
like
happy to
food
be
poisoning
back.
sick, though. I will say that. It
No,
was not food poisoning sick.
If you'd like to know my symptoms, just contact me privately.
Send
Just
an email
send
to
an email to
to
ghostofthegazette@gmail.com. We'll let you know if we're still contagious or what our symptoms are.
Anyways,
Yeah.
episode 18.
18. The
That
big
is
one.
kinda crazy, eh?
Hey, we're close to 20.
Oh my goodness. Today we are traveling to the year 1993 and we'll be talking about stories that take place in Iowa.
As well as Staten Island.
Staten Island. We'll have some extras for you as well.
Yes, we will. And Kendra, I believe you're starting us off today.
I am going to start us off today. Yeah, I am going to do that. I think I started last time, but that's okay. I'm going to start us off this time.
You know, we're a free-flowing podcast here, folks.
We don't have a structure.
We have a
Just kidding.
structure.
I'm just kidding. We have
But
a really good structure.
we don't have
I
like
our
a structure, like quote unquote structure.
Sometimes we do our own thing.
Hey, this is what happens when we're in charge of our own
Hey,
podcast.
I own this podcast.
Hey, we own this podcast. Get away.
We can do whatever we
Go
wanna
away.
do.
We own this podcast. Just kidding. Stick around.
Go
Kendra's
away. We
going to
like
start
you.
her story.
Okay, so this one's not. It's a sad one. You're welcome. Always.
Kendra's going to start her story.
Woohoo! Okay, so I found my story in the Des Moines Register, and our story takes place in Des Moines. Is it Des Moines?
Des Moines.
Des Moines. Thank you.
Des Moines.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines?
Des Moines.
DS
Des Moines.
Moines?
Which I feel like never happens. We never find like a story reported on that day. That
Yeah.
the story actually takes place in. So
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
That actually
Anyways.
happens for me as well this
Oh.
week. And I also had made a note of
You're a
it.
copycat.
Hey, sometimes you don't have to stray too far from where the paper is published.
We're always kind of like on the same page because I know nothing. Zero.
I know nothing about your story.
Yeah. Okay.
It's great.
Anyways, this is the story of the Drake Diner slayings.
Whoa.
Yep. The Drake Diner is a 50s style restaurant that opened in 1987 and quickly became a staple in the Des Moines community.
Des Moines.
Des Moines. Oh,
Duh.
I'm just
Des
not going
Moines.
to say it anymore.
Des Moines.
Des Moines. It's located in the north side of the city of Des Moines and just south of the Drake University campus there. Not to be confused with Drake from Toronto.
Oh, okay. So this is Drake from
It's
Des Moines.
unrelated. It's the chilly evening of November 29th, 1992, and the diner is packed. And it was around like Thanksgiving dinner, weekend. So about 40 people are inside either eating or working at the diner, with another dozen or so people waiting at the door or just outside the doors being waiting to be seated, basically.
So I just want to get this straight. They're waiting just outside the door where they are waiting.
I said
to
waiting
be waited
a lot.
And to be seated while they're waiting.
There's a lot of people there.
It
like
sounds
in
like
and
a lot.
around
It
the
sounds
restaurant.
it's
like
a diner. They're
it's
not
a good
typically
sized
massive,
diner, but it's not.
But still, it's a
diners
lot
are
of
still
people.
not
A lot of
huge.
people there.
Yeah, it's not a Swiss chalet.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these people were university students as well, and a lot of families who were coming to like say hi to their kids from university.
Oh,
and
kind of
have
cute.
like a little Thanksgiving dinner together.
Sweet.
Standing at the cash register desk at the front of the restaurant, helping cash people out and seat new tables, is 25-year-old Cara McGrane, a manager there at the restaurant. Nearby, Tim Burnett, 28 years old, another manager of the restaurant, is helping decorate a Christmas tree. And some sources said it was actually his night off, and he just came in to
decorate the tree.
Yeah,
Bring the festive season.
yeah, exactly. Just before 7 p.m., a man bursts into the restaurant, walks past the crowd waiting at the doors, up to Cara McGrane, who is at the register, puts his arm around her, and then pulls out a gun and puts it basically straight to her head.
Oh my goodness.
Unsure what was happening, she turned to look at him, and that is when the gun went off.
Oh no.
Time stands still as Tim Burnett gets up and heads over to help Cara, and as he runs to her, a second shot goes off, and he too hits the ground. The man then grabs $400 to $500 worth of cash from the register and walks out the door and disappears. Both Cara and Tim died instantly of their wounds within 7 to 10 seconds of each other.
Oh my goodness.
Which is just a horrible, senseless murder. Like, he could have just went in there, been like, hey, give me your money.
And they would have given it to
and they
a
would have
diner.
there was no resistance from either of them.
That's
It just happened
crazy.
so fast.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, and there was like kids as young as 6, 7 there.
Yeah,
who were just
tons of
having dinner.
families.
Tons of families.
Nuts.
It's just horrible. Yeah, horrible all around. Unfortunately, even though there were so many people there, not a lot of people were able to get a good look at the suspect, and it all happened so fast. One witness told the papers that she was eating dinner with her family when she said she saw the gunman approach the register, and all she saw were flashes of light. Everyone ducked under their tables so quickly after that first shot.
That's not. It went so quickly.
So quickly. Like, I think there was a report that police didn't think he like said anything to Cara.
Just went up.
Just
shot
like went
them
up.
and took the
She
money.
kind of turned,
Crazy.
shot, and then.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Isn't that awful? When the gunman left and the police arrived, a crowd started to gather, of course, as word got out about what had happened, and the police started interviewing everyone who was at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Through all of their interviews, they were able to get the initial description of their suspected gunman. He was a black male adult, about 6 feet tall, wearing a dark athletic jacket, dark trousers, a gray hooded sweatshirt, dark cap, or mask. Sometimes the report said mask. That was kind of hiding his face, but there was, conflicting reports. Although they didn't have the gun there, they were able to determine that the bullets were used were from a .44 caliber Magnum Desert Eagle.
Whoa, that's a big gun.
That's a big gun.
That's a big old gun.
Yeah,
That's like I know that from Call of Duty and stuff.
Some reports call it like a Grizzly too. I don't know.
Maybe that's
I don't know.
Around the area they called that.
Yeah,
called it that.
The initial papers were saying Desert Eagle, and I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
It's a big old revolver, right?
Yeah, which I will describe.
Yeah.
Which police described as a highly unusual weapon in this case to use. It was a large caliber, semi-automatic weapon that was exceptionally powerful, being 3 times as powerful as the 9mm pistols that the cops were carrying around like the city there at the time. So it was super rare to have a gun like that.
The kickback alone on that is like insane. Like you see people in like the slow motion gun videos or whatever using that, and it just goes
wow.
Like you have to be really strong to use one of those, and like that's overkill. That's insane.
Yeah, for sure. Only 4 Des Moines residents were known to have owned one, but spoiler alert, it was none of them.
Okay, well there we go.
Well, yeah. In the following days, more than 150 mourners came out to hold candlelight vigils and leave memorials at the diner for the 2 victims. Inside the diner's doors, like the front doors, was a sign that remained on the inside wall that said, 4, Tim's back, and Cara too. Be sure to welcome them home where they belong.
Ugh.
So sad.
Ridiculously sad.
Like you can just tell that everyone obviously loved them, who worked with them, their family.
Yeah, and it's
like
the
they
diner's
were,
like a staple. And
yeah.
Those types of environments, it's kind of like, hi, I'm Cara.
Yeah,
Hi,
like
I'm
there was just a
Tim.
big family sort of thing. Yeah, so sad. A few days later, a large group from the city's Black community gathered in front of the Des Moines police station to show their dissatisfaction with how the investigation was going in regards to their search for their suspect. 3 of these men read prepared statements to the crowd saying that they sympathized with the families and friends of both Cara and Tim. They, however, were not happy with the broad description of the suspect, which makes total sense. Like basically the description's only, Black man, 6 foot. It's very
a generic
medium build. Some of them said like it's just
it's just a Black man.
Many people.
Yeah, it's just a guy.
They said that they were, quote, concerned that without a clear and precise description of the suspect, that unnecessary and unfounded harassment, detainment, and arrest could occur. Using these descriptors, we all have these characteristics. Thus, we are concerned that we are all suspects, which is really terrifying. Yeah. I read as well in 1992 that racial tension in the city there was already strong. So it was already a tough time.
Mm-hmm.
A December 6th article tells of how a new security guard at the diner picked up the news on a police scanner and news spread like wildfire.
This was a new security guard.
Yeah,
like they
at the diner.
now have a security guard at that. That's crap.
Oh, I know.
A diner?
Yeah.
Oh.
He picked up on a police scanner that a suspect was in custody, which is quite soon after, December 6th. Joseph White Jr. and Alf Freddie Clark, both 17 years old. The 2 of them were second cousins.
Okay.
It was soon announced to the world that Joseph White Jr., who I'm just going to call White, would be tried as an adult on first-degree murder and first-degree robbery charges. Alf Freddie Clark, however, was not yet being charged with anything, but he was being held as a potential witness, or he had information and sort of thing.
Right.
Family and friends of the 2 cousins were up in arms over the arrests and kept their presence known at the police station since the police were refusing to talk to them about the status of the 2 teenagers, which is really shitty because they are 17 years old. Like they're young kids. During an arraignment in February, White pleads not guilty to his charges and a trial is set for May. During the arraignment, his mother pleaded his innocence to the court, as well as his uncle. His uncle told the court that his nephew was not a gang member and had not been in Des Moines long enough to make any friends. He said that he believed that the crime was instead committed by the members of the local Vice Lords gang, who then framed his nephew.
Whoa.
He said they had to have a fall guy. Joe's not from around here. It was easy to blame it on him. White had apparently moved to Des Moines less than a month before the murders. He was living in Seattle before his move there to Iowa, and police did go out to Seattle and kind of get information on like his criminal record out there. And in Seattle, he was already convicted of 6 felonies and 3 misdemeanors, including burglary, malicious mischief, possession of stolen property, and 3rd-degree assault.
Something about malicious mischief.
Malicious
mischief.
Yeah,
it's nice and alliterative. That's a
proper
malicious
term for
mischief. What is malicious mischief?
He has intent.
Mischief with malice.
Yeah, I'd say so. They were also able to figure out that a gun similar to the one used in the Drake Diner slayings was stolen during a burglary from a gun collector in Seattle, in which White was already a suspect. I guess there was like a party. I don't know. I'm not going to go into it, but there's a party in Seattle, and this girl's father, I think, was a gun collector, it seemed like, and his gun went missing during this party. And so, anyways.
Okay.
They also had evidence that the gun that was used at the diner was connected to 2 other incidents in the Des Moines area. A few days after the shooting, a woman who lived at 1517 Washington Avenue in the city contacted police saying that her teenage daughters, who were known to associate with the Vice Lords gang, were home alone and had some friends over on November 29th, so only hours after the murders. At that time, a bullet was fired into one of her walls, hitting her furnace pipe, like in her basement, basically.
That's annoying.
The girls, though,
Sorry. That's annoying.
The girls, though, would refuse to name any of the names that they were with that night or who was over.
Yeah.
The other instance was on November 15th, just 2 weeks earlier, when a bullet flew into another Des Moines home, striking a 20-year-old man in the thigh.
My goodness.
Markings on The bullets of all three of these events show that they were done with the same weapon. So it's
gotta say that's I covered in one of my previous stories the sniper in Los Angeles one.
Yes,
that's just terrifying.
That's terrifying.
Isn't that
when
scary?
A bullet just
like
comes,
a bullet just can like fire into your home.
Yeah, and so many people live with that threat. It comes out as well that a confidential source who police promised anonymity was who helped lead authorities to White. This informant was the one who told the police that it was White and Clark who showed up after 11:30 p.m. and Joe was the one who fired the gun inside that Washington Avenue home just hours after the Drake Diner murders. The same source told him that White then spent large amounts of money at a hotel party only 2 days later. They said that White and Clark and 2 girls had the party at the Holiday Inn on the night of December 1st, and police were able to go and confirm a similar reservation that matched their descriptions for the presidential suite that was paid in cash that evening.
Presidential suite.
Big old
they took
party.
They took all that money and just used it on a party.
They just used it on a party on the presidential suite.
Goodness. Not that there's a good thing to use the money on.
No,
that you killed people for. But
yeah,
to use it to squander it.
Yeah.
That's just horrible.
Yeah. At his trial, when White took the stand, he claimed that he was sleeping during the time of the slayings. He said on the afternoon of November 29th, he was riding around with his cousin in a red pickup truck and arrived home around 5:30 p.m. He said the 2 of them had something to eat, and that's when he went upstairs to take a nap. He said he heard about the Drake slayings later in the evening when Clark and another friend came upstairs and woke him up. He followed them downstairs, and that's when he saw some of his other family members. And his uncle later testified that White was there in the house after the shootings and that he had his socks and his shoes off and appeared to be waking up from a nap.
Okay.
So
I remember he woke up from a nap because he had both his socks and shoes off.
Yeah. He did confess, though, that he brought the gun to Des Moines from Seattle, but said that he sold it a week after he arrived to a local gang member. So he only moved there like a month before the murders at the Drake Diner. He said after a week, he sold it to a local Vice Lord's gang member.
So a lot is riding on like who had this gun.
Yeah. White said that the gun was a going away gift that a friend of his gave him before he moved to Ottawa, which is such a nice gift.
Iowa.
Ottawa. I didn't say Iowa. Oh my gosh.
Ottawa.
Anyways, he said his friend gave it to him as a gift.
Yeah.
He also confessed that he accidentally fired the gun at the Washington Avenue house on December 1st.
Is that the one that hit the guy in the thigh?
No, that's the one that went into the furnace. Oh, into the furnace. Basically,
okay.
Which was only hours.
Okay, I could believe that one is accidental, sure.
Yeah, I can too. But that was only hours after the Drake Diner slayings. Don't forget
I didn't do the slayings, but I did shoot that same gun an hour later.
Yeah. So when asked, he said that he had asked to see the gun after the gang member showed up to the party and just wanted to play with it, I guess. And then it accidentally went off.
Shoot it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay, sure.
He admitted to being in a gang in Seattle, but said he did not join the one in Des Moines. And finally, when he was asked if he had been drawing pictures of gang symbols and men holding guns during his short stay in the Polk County Jail, he said, "That's all I know how to draw, really. What? I'm supposed to draw flowers," which is kind of a sad answer.
That is a really sad answer,
17-year-old.
actually.
Yeah, it is sad.
Yeah, it shows his age.
Yeah, it does. Well. It does. But in the end, after about a week of deliberations, the jury found White guilty of armed robbery and, more importantly, guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder. Within the hour of the verdict, protesters showed up at the Drake Diner with signs, basically saying he was being railroaded. A large part of the trial focused on some witnesses' descriptions of a large gap in the front teeth. And White did have a gap in his teeth.
What?
But a lot of these witnesses, they weren't even 70%, 50%. They were like 70%, 50% sure.
Some people saw a hat. Some people saw a mask.
Yeah.
But you saw the gap in his teeth.
I know. And some people didn't initially give the gap in the teeth thing until later, like until they were kind of reminded of it. So
like, oh, this is the suspect that's in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit fishy. So I understand. But yeah, a lot of people didn't feel like a lot of the community didn't feel like there was it was a fair trial and there wasn't enough physical evidence and stuff like that. The paper said that at the time with the proceedings being broadcast, White's trial became one of the most watched legal events in the city's history.
Wow.
The verdict was also said to be one of the most controversial as well.
I bet.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. If I'm on that if I'm on that jury,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know if beyond a shadow of a doubt, you
Yeah.
can say guilty.
Yeah. And they did deliberate for, a week.
That's tough.
So, yeah, it is
crazy.
tough. And he's young too. But
Yeah.
yeah. I found a statement by a Des Moines lawyer, Alfredo Parrish, who was one of Iowa's best known Black attorneys of the time, who said that, in his opinion, White received a fair trial. However, he believed that there were clear grounds for an appeal.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed to dismiss the idea that racism was responsible for White being convicted, saying that, I think that any attempt to make it a black-white thing won't work because from my perspective, he did get a fair trial. One reason for appeal, he said, was that the judge allowed the evidence of White's drawings with guns, saying, when I was a boy, I drew cowboys with guns. If they ever used that against me, I would be in big trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's not
That's
drawing
crazy.
Kids draw the Babadook.
The Babadook.
Kids draw the Babadook.
Yeah. Kids draw everything. He said what probably hurt his case the most was White's statements and evidence that the gun used in the killings was in White's possession and was under his ownership while also being brought to Des Moines with him from Seattle, which, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
100%.
look good. It doesn't look good at all.
Yeah.
And he fired the gun hours after the killing. Like,
yeah, no, there's a lot of not even circumstantial evidence. Like, there's a lot of stuff here.
So while, he's 17, which sucks. Like, he's,
it's an uphill battle for the defense on this one.
Totally. Yeah. But yeah, all around, it was just a tragic, horrible nightmare for the victims, their families and friends, and just a super incredibly senseless act. Cara and Tim were both so young and sounded so lively and so loved by all those around them. It's just a really sad story for that community. Yeah. Tim also had a twin brother who he was incredibly close with. So yeah, it's very sad. For some reason, I could not find what happened to Elf Freddie Clark because he got arrested as well.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they let him go after his trial, but I think so.
I mean, if you didn't find another mention of him, it's kind of tough to find. There was also so many mentions
of a different Elf, Freddie Clark, who was like 20 years older than him, and he was running around doing a bunch of illegal stuff. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got all muffled in there. But
those Clarks.
Yeah. In 2016, White was given a new trial and was given the opportunity for a possible resentencing, which kind of brings it all up for the families again, which really sucks. This was after a string of U.S. and Iowa Supreme Court rulings that banned mandatory life without parole sentences for defendants who commit murders as juveniles. And at that point, papers said that since going to prison, White had 125 disciplinary violations and was moved to a federal prison after an escape attempt.
Wow.
Yeah. However, after 3 victim statements, the judge ultimately resentenced White to 2 consecutive life sentences with the possibility of parole. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Consecutive. Okay.
Yeah. The Drake Diner is still open and thriving today, and apparently every year at Christmas, they still hang a photo of Cara and Tim on their tree, which is very, very sweet.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and that is the story of the Drake Diner slayings. Another sad story for all the ghosts out there.
Wow.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
Okay, should we transition to my story?
We should.
All right, Kendra, today's headline comes from the Staten Island Advance, a newspaper out of Staten Island. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So, you guys, not everyone's perfect. I want to start out my story by saying not everyone's perfect.
What did you do?
So, full disclosure, I had gotten super far into my research, and then I went and clicked back to my OG headline, and I realized it did not take place on June 1st, which this is the premise of the show. I don't know how I clicked on an article that was from like June 23rd.
Wow.
I couldn't find any articles about this on June 1st because it didn't happen on that day.
You broke the rules.
I broke the code, and it won't happen again.
All right, we'll let it pass.
And it still happens in June 1993.
Okay.
And it was an interesting story. If it wasn't interesting, I probably would have gone back to the drawing board and tried to find something else. But this is where I find it to be an interesting story.
Okay, so don't worry. I don't have to get the wooden spoon or anything.
No, you don't have to get the wooden spoon. You don't have to get the wooden oar either.
No. Okay.
And you don't have to get the wooden... Trying to think of something that's like also paddle-like that's bigger than an oar. A bigger oar. A boat, yes. A bigger oar. Spoon, an oar, and the bigger oar. Don't make me get the bigger oar. Okay. It's warm, early morning at 231 Steuben Street on Staten Island. We're talking around 3:30 a.m.
Okay.
Early. We're in a small apartment building, only 7 stories high. Most of the people in this building know each other.
Mm-hmm.
A man around 50 years old, looking worse for wear, shuffles down the dimly lit hallways on the first floor and knocks on a door. The owner of the home, a man named Victor Dendariarina, opens his door and looks the man up and down. He knows him. It's Richard Mallen, 50, from the 7th floor. Okay. Richard looks dazed and dirty. He's covered in some sort of like brown liquid. And so Victor says, "Go wash yourself. I'll see you in the morning."
Oh, so this has happened before.
I guess so. That was kind of funny to me. Yeah. And so he closes the door, and then he closes the door, and Richard returns to his apartment.
Okay.
So it's shortly after 7 a.m., Richard knocks on Victor's door again. This time it's not Victor who answers. It's his son, Juan, who was like 17, I think, at the time.
Okay.
And now he realizes that it's not just brown liquid on Richard. It's blood.
Right.
So Juan is like, what's happened?
Yeah.
Because he rushed upstairs thinking that something may have happened to his dad, who was not at home by this time. He may have gone off to work or something like that. But Juan is putting himself like a man comes to the door and is covered in blood. And he's like, oh my gosh, is my dad okay? Like that's kind of where his mind goes.
Because his dad's not home. Okay, I understand.
So he runs upstairs. Juan opens the door to Richard's door, and what he saw left him completely floored.
Oh no.
Another resident of the building called the police, and they were on the scene quickly at 7:30 a.m. Mm-hmm. When police entered, they found Richard Mallen covered in blood, eating chicken, while a man lay bludgeoned to death in his bedroom. A bloody pickaxe was found nearby.
What?
Isn't that an insane picture to paint?
Okay, sorry. I just need to reverse a little bit.
Yes.
So Richard came to Victor's door in the morning.
Came to Victor's door at like 3:30 a.m.
He turned him around. He said, go back to bed.
Go wash yourself. Go back to bed.
Okay, so then Richard came back to the door.
Yeah, at 7 a.m.
Knocked again.
Doesn't say anything.
The son goes up with him to the apartment.
And he comes in and he sees
he sits
this
on the
man.
ground and he starts eating chicken
Yes.
next to this man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Okay.
So the victim, Joseph Marshall, 29 or 30, depending on like the paper, was a neighbor of Richard's. Joseph lived with his mother in another apartment on the 7th floor and was described as a sweetheart who would do anything for anybody. Here's a few quotes I found from neighbors that really sum up Joseph's character. He helped everybody. He would move furniture for you, do anything. Nobody would say anything bad. If he had one cigarette and you needed one, he would give it to you.
I'll take it.
I loved him. I'm going to have a good cry when I go upstairs. I'm holding it in now. That was the last quote. Was that was from Mrs. Gennaro, who said Joseph reminded her of one of her sons.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. So in the building, Joseph was known to frequently visit Richard, the man who was covered in blood eating chicken. So, but Joseph was like frequently over at Richard's. Like they were just like, they're known to be buddies, like drinking buddies. Like they would go over and stuff. When asked about why he did it, right after the incident, Richard Mallen told police, "He came into my apartment and disrespected my apartment."
Interesting.
That's all
I feel like
he
this
said.
is a mentee.
Yeah.
A mentee bee.
So who is Richard Mallen?
Yeah.
Why is he so unhinged? Like you're like, guys, Blake, you brought this story to us. This guy definitely did it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go back.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
I think we need a lot of context
this guy?
here. Yeah.
Yeah. And why is he just living in an apartment?
Just fully
did he snap? What
break?
happened? Okay. So flashback to December 26, 1971. Enter William Schumacher, 29, sits inside his home at 330 Slight Ave in Tottenville, which is in southern Staten Island. Two motorcycles roar down the road and pull up in front of William's home. The men were Specs, 28, and Crazy Frank, 25. They wear biker jackets with Betsy Ross OG American flag on the back.
What's that?
That's like the one with like the 13 stars. It's like the original American flag, the stars and stripes. Betsy Ross. I don't know anything about Betsy Ross. Sorry for our American listeners.
Sorry.
Because we've got 5 of you or so.
And we appreciate you.
And above the flag reads a red banner with the words "Breed."
Okay.
So Specs and Crazy Frank belong to the infamous Breed Motorcycle Club. They're kind of like a Hells Angels type. Yeah. So Breed were 1%ers, which essentially means they were a club that was involved in criminal activities, like the Hells Angels. Mm-hmm. It came from a saying that 99% of motorcycle clubs were made up of law-abiding citizens, and the other 1% were criminals, or were cool. Yeah. So William Schumacher, who had been a part of the Breed, had defected to a rival gang, the Pagans, and had helped organize a Staten Island branch. You already see where this is going.
I already see where this is going.
So he was now the president of the Staten Island branch of the Pagans.
Okay.
The men banged on his door, so William got up to answer it. William stepped out onto his front porch to greet the men when he was shot through the heart.
Oh, man.
Specs and Crazy Frank fled the scene, but not before they fired many more shots. If at this point you're like, Blake, what does this have to do with Richard Mallen?
I was
I'm
just
getting
about to say
there.
that.
Let me cook. We got Specs and Crazy Frank here at the moment. Let's focus on these boys.
Okay.
On Friday, March 17th, 1972, nearly 3 months after the death of William, police arrested Specs, a.k.a. Richard Specs Mallen.
Okay. That's what I thought was going to happen here. Yeah.
At the time, Richard was the Staten Island Fire Department dispatcher, although he was recently suspended from his job. I don't know why, but
So he was Staten Island fire dispatcher?
Yeah.
But then also a 1%er at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, these guys who were in motorcycle clubs, it wasn't their like job to be in the motorcycle club.
I guess so. But you just think that someone who was in a motorcycle gang
Couldn't hold down a job?
wouldn't be a fire dispatcher. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he was let go.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Suspended. So
Suspended.
your assessment is accurate of the situation.
Like, I can understand if you were part of the law-abiding biker gang. I don't want to, like, shun biker gangs.
Yeah, 99% of
If you
them.
want to go ride your bike, great. But if you're a 1%er trying to be...
Well, in every
doing
show
criminal
that
stuff.
we watch, like the Hell's, what was it? What's the show about the biker gang?
Oh, yes. The one with...
Charlie Hunnam and Ronnie Pearls.
Oh, my gosh. This is going to hurt.
I don't think we're allowed to
Sons
Google
of
it. Sons of
Anarchy.
Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy. Got it.
It was
Okay,
like
good.
Sons of Guns.
And then
That's what I
we
thought.
watched Task, with Mark Ruffalo as well. There was a biker gang in that.
Yes,
And,
that was a good one.
I mean, these criminal biker gangs, all they do is criminal it up.
They criminal it
They
up.
steal drugs.
Some of them had some like carpenter jobs, I guess.
You're right. I guess so.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Richard Mallen can't hold down a job at this point.
Okay.
So it wouldn't take long for police to also arrest Crazy Frank Markovich, who was facing charges of rape, sodomy, and weapons possession, and was also accused of slashing a detective's tires.
So brutal.
Yeah. So upon interrogation of the men, the reasoning for William's murder was that the Pagans had forcibly stolen Richard's colors. This was the cute little club insignia patch worn on their jackets.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So this is described as like a humiliating experience for anyone in the club. So under the guise of nicely knocking on his door to get the colors back, and I think there was also something about they had his gun,
Okay.
like they had William's gun, so they were going to do a swap.
Okay.
But they were like, hey, we're going to come over and we're just going to swap stuff.
We're just going to shoot you instead.
And so, yeah, they decided to shoot him instead.
Ridiculous.
So there were 3 witnesses inside William's home that day that were able to identify the men.
Okay.
So over a year later, in late June of 1973, Richard and Crazy Frank were sentenced to 8 years.
Only 8 years?
I know, for their parts in death of William Schumacher.
What is the world?
The men pleaded guilty in March of that year and were able to get their charges knocked down to second-degree manslaughter.
What?
I don't know how.
Oh, sorry, fellas. 8 years is a little too much
8
for
years
ya.
is crazy.
That's crazy.
Maybe it's because William Schumacher was also a criminal. So it's like, I don't know. That's crazy.
That's horrible.
Yeah, 8 years for murdering someone is wild.
That's
So the men did go to prison. So the next mention of Richard was in 1977.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start reading some of these headlines that I got. Prisoner charged in melee. So he only ended up serving 3 years in prison.
That's insane.
So he only got 8 years, and then he only ended up serving 3 for murdering someone. And there were witnesses.
Intended
and
to
he
walk up
pleaded
those
guilty.
stairs to be like, we're just gonna shoot this guy.
So 3 years later, he's out. He got out in September of 1976 for murder, and he was released for a short time. So Richard, now 34, was brought in on weapons charges. When pulled over by police for driving under the influence, Richard had apparently had a bayonet tied to his waist along with a 5-inch knife taped to his right leg. So when police tried to search at the police station, he had tried to flee. A total of 6 sergeants and officers had to restrain him as he struggled to get away from the processing office. He was charged with attempted escape, possession of a weapon, and possession of a controlled substance. Richard was sent back to jail.
Okay.
Until traffic accident begins rough night of scuffling with the law for ex-con. Okay, so it's April. Now it's April 1979. He's back on the street. Richard Specs Mallen is out of prison again. It's 10:20 p.m. on Van Duzer Street on Staten Island, and Officer Gregory Fox approaches a car accident, one that involves an intoxicated Richard Mallen.
Sounds like he should have just done more
Time for
in
that
prison
original
for
murder. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. There's more insane things to come.
Okay.
So Officer Fox and Richard almost immediately get into a fight, injuring Fox's left thumb and right index finger. I don't know how you injure someone's left thumb and then their right index, like both.
That's also
both
very
separate hands. Yeah,
very
specific,
big detail.
I mean, police reports. He's like, you hurt my left thumb and my index finger. So it was at this point that two other officers, Robert Carey and Patrick O'Brien, jumped in to help their fellow officer. Officer Carey was kicked twice in the back before they ultimately handcuffed Richard, who came away with a scalp injury.
Good.
So, but kicked twice in the back, like that's quite a scuffle for a police officer to like be turned around and then just kicked in the back. Yeah. So when he was being treated for his injuries at the station, he again became violent and kicked an ambulance attendant. Another police officer attempted to subdue him, but came out with injured arms, legs, and back.
Is this a big dude?
He doesn't look massive, but he must have just been like a feral, like little nuts. Wolverine kind of thing. It was at this point that two more officers ran into the cell to help again. Richard punched one in the face, sending him into the steel bars of the cell, and kicked the second cop in the groin. This almost feels like it's like an action movie.
It does, yeah.
The two more cops come in and you punch that guy and
they
he goes,
fall
whoa,
over.
whoa, whoa. And then you kick another guy in the neck. Yeah.
This guy sucks.
Yeah, it's crazy. They finally managed to subdue him and forcibly admitted him along with 5 police officers to the hospital.
Oh
He
my
sent
God.
5 police officers to the hospital.
Officers.
A little bit, right? After this, he was accused of felonious assault, intoxicated driving, resisting arrest, and attempted assault. For these charges, Richard pleaded guilty and was fined $150.
Are you kidding? Did he not go back to jail?
Fined, Kendra. Fined.
My mind is going to explode.
$150. Just wait. And we never heard from Richard again until man arrested in shooting. September 11th, 1979, not 5 months after his scuffle with police.
Oh my gosh.
Fined $150. 5 months later, he's back.
Did he know someone high up in the police? Like it was someone on his side secretly or something?
I don't know.
Like that's
potentially. It keeps going. Just wait.
Okay, sorry.
Richard fired a shot at a man by the name of Patrick Connolly, but missed and struck a woman instead. Multiple witnesses ID'd Richard and stated to police that the woman who was struck refused medical aid, and as she said, it was just a graze, like kind of badass lady. It's just a graze. I'm good.
No, I'm getting checked out.
Yeah. At the time, police had no idea why Richard fired at Patrick. The two didn't know each other at all. In October, the charges were dropped as the complaining witness failed to appear and could not be contacted by the DA's office. And we never heard from Richard again. Until gun battle shatters Midland Beach. Quiet.
Let me guess. Is this like 2 months after?
It's like, so it was September 1979. Now we're in February of 1980. Like we're like another 5 months. He's like, he wakes up every 5 months and goes like, I need to cause havoc. I need to rage.
That's crazy.
So 3:30 p.m. Yes, our boy Specs is at it again, this time as a part of a shootout that lasted for 15 minutes. Richard himself was injured, seen hobbling away with a gunshot in his right arm. Police searched his abandoned car and found a tire iron, an empty knife sheath, and 3 bottles of liquor. Despite his obvious involvement in the shooting, Richard was not charged with anything. Police had no idea what happened and no one died. Just a big shootout.
Yeah, no harm, no foul. 15 minutes of gunfire with police. And we let him go again.
Not exchanging with police.
No?
It was like rival, like gang. It seemed
okay.
But still.
Okay, I was like,
yeah,
they're literally shooting at you. Why aren't you charging
Well,
him?
they didn't hit us. No, it was with.
I was going to call cap on that.
It seemed like it was with like rival gang members. Okay. It was like 10 men shooting at each other. I didn't go into all the specifics.
Well, no one died, so
no one died.
We all can just walk away, right?
Yeah. So we never heard from Richard again
until
man accused in cop attack.
This
time it's a little bit later. It's about a year later. May 27th, 1989, Richard Mallen, driving his motorcycle, I think, this is the way it was described, is kind of funny, threw an ice pick at a police officer. And he injured the police officer. He was caught and charged with assault, possession of a weapon, drunk driving, attempted assault, and menacing. But in October, after a back and forth with the prosecution, he was allowed off with a $15 fine. After being allowed to plead guilty to running a red light.
This is ridiculous.
Yes.
Calling cap.
It's insane, right?
It's insane.
It's insane. No, this is all stuff I found.
This is
This
ridiculous.
is real. This is a real story of a guy that just keeps doing these insane things. $15 ticket with he threw a pickaxe at a cop.
Injured an officer.
Was drunk driving and was menacing.
I can't.
If you're menacing, it's got to be a $20 fine at least.
At least go to jail for a month.
Take him off. Take this guy off the streets.
Take him off.
So
He's
we
obviously a threat to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So we never heard from Richard again.
Until
defendant indicted in axe murder case. This is my OG headline. We're back in 1993 now.
Okay, so he took some time off.
He did take a little bit of time off. He's like, I gotta lay low.
Yeah.
But all of that was definitely pent up. Like he definitely was like
he was
almost like
waiting
a
to burst.
a kettle, like about to.
R.I.P. the years out there.
So Richard was taken into custody for the murder of Joseph Marshall. In one paper, there's a photo of him being escorted out of the front door of his apartment. He's got shorts on, no shirt, blood on his legs, and he just kind of looks old.
Right.
Like he's still got dark hair. He's 50, but he just looks like super weathered and like, just old. He just looks like rough. There's a detective kind of holding his arm as he's walking about. This guy doesn't even look that.
He doesn't even look
bad,
like
right. That
no.
Yeah, which is crazy. So he's just a little short man syndrome.
Unhinged.
So we'll post it on our Instagram so people can see what I mean. But there's also a photo of Juan, who found Joseph's body standing in the hallway outside the door.
Horrible.
A few days later, Richard waived his right for his case to be presented to a grand jury. His fate would be in the hands of Justice Charles A. Kuffner.
He's going to cuff you.
Gonna cuff you. On December 11th, 1995, so this is like 2 years later,
yeah.
After a trial where his defense was basically that it was self-defense, Richard Mallen was sentenced to 25 years to life.
Okay.
During the trial, there was more clarity on the words he said to police when they found him. And he said, he came to my apartment, disrespected my apartment, and I beat the shit out of him.
Okay, what does disrespecting my apartment mean?
That's all I got for you.
That's all you got for that?
And that's all he gave them.
Yeah.
But that's what he said, apparently, like, and I beat the shit out of him. Like, he admitted to it right there when they came in. Like, it's not
That's why
hard
he waived his grand jury. He's like, I don't want you to go through that. Like, I obviously did it.
Yes. So now another thing I found that was interesting about Richard Mallen was that he was like a theater kid, Boy Scout, and pitcher for his school's baseball team.
What
I went way the heck back. Like I went back to like archives from like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, good research on this. This is a lot.
There was I'm sure there's so much more, Kendra, obviously. It was crazy when I would like Google his name. I had to go year by year because if I did like a range, there was too much to go through.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
But when I was going through and finding all the same stuff, I was finding out in real time of like, and he only got fined $15 and he only got fined $150 and he didn't go to jail for like a long time.
That's the
Injured
most
6 police officers, only
thing I've ever
was
heard.
out on the streets again. But it's so weird. Like, he could have been a piece of shit, but there was nothing about like him beating up kids at school.
Okay.
Like it was all just him part of clubs and a part of like performing skits with his friends and stuff like that. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad that, his life obviously went in a different direction.
Something, yeah.
But
so in 2020, after serving 25 years, Richard Mallen was actually released from prison. So Richard, if you're listening to this,
Richard,
you're a piece of shit. So I know this because I found I sort of skimmed over a legal document that he tried to sue to reopen his injury benefits from an injury he got when he was working for Ace Tinsmith and Building back in the late 80s.
Back in the 80s.
Back in the late 80s.
Okay.
So he was on like
how old is he now? I guess he's
in his late 70s.
Late 70s, yeah.
So he was on like disability.
Okay.
And then he went to prison. And so then when he gets out of prison, he's like, can I go back on my disability? No, you can't. Not allowed. Yeah. After 20 years of being incarcerated, you're not allowed to go back on your disability. I think that's what it was.
Right.
So he was unable to resume these benefits because he was in prison for so long. But I think he's still out there. I don't know if I don't know if he died or not. I couldn't find any obituaries or anything, but I think he's still living on Staten Island. Like I found like a Yellow Pages thing that might have been him living in an apartment in Staten Island.
You just don't know.
I know. And we never heard from Richard again.
Yet.
Richard,
if you're out there, give us an email here at Goes to the Gazette.
That would be crazy. Actually,
please don't do it. Freaking me out.
I don't think he could get into the country though. So we have a barrier of Canada.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Don't come to Canada.
That's my story.
Don't come to our streets, Richard.
Don't come to our street. And our address is, but don't
I can't
come
believe
here.
he's out after like all of that.
I know, so much stuff. He's old, 70, but like still
No,
like
don't care.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Served his full 25 and then he's out. It was a brutal murder too.
That's horrible.
But he's killed like 2 people. Like
he just like
the fact that he only did 3 years for murdering that first guy.
That's insane.
3 years off murder.
He should have gotten resentenced
that's
for
like
that again.
1900s type of justice right there.
That is it's a bad one. Yeah. Wow. Well, crazy.
And now it's time for
Extra, read all about it. Blake and Kendra got a couple little fun little tidbits they found while researching their stories that they want to share with you.
Okay, so my first extra, the headline reads, "Man in the Pink after record-setting sales."
Man in the Pink.
In the Pink. Do you have any idea what this could be of?
Well, in the pink is like normally like positive.
Okay.
So he's doing
It
well.
is a positive thing, yeah.
He's doing well in life after record-setting sales. So, yeah, tell me about this financial whiz.
Perfect. Craig Hogan is in the pink. He was so good at selling Mary Kay cosmetics that he became the first man to earn a Cadillac in the company's trademark shade.
He was too good for Mary Kay. They're like, crap, we have to
give this guy a freaking Cadillac.
Wow.
I love this car, he said. His license plate reads, "First man."
He was first man to ever like take Mary Kay for everything they got.
Rides like a cloud. People honk and wave and give me the thumbs up, Hogan said. Of Mary Kay's 250,000 consultants worldwide, only 1% are men. Hogan signed up in December 1990. In the first month, he sold more than $13,000 worth of products.
This guy must be handsome.
This year, he expects
handsome.
to earn $90,000. Yeah, I wish there was a photo of him, but there's not. Sad. "It was worth every night and weekend I worked late," said Hogan, who lives in Houston. Mary Kay unit directors like Hogan earn the use of a pink Cadillac for taking a minimum of $95,000 in sales in 6 months. The cars are not given to employees. They're used as company cars. Hogan, 32, has recruited 60 women for the company, including his mother and sister.
He is at the top of that pyramid.
That's nuts.
Including his mother and sister.
"I get a very strange reaction from men," he said. "They've just never seen someone like me who works in a women's company and drives a pink car."
That's a pink caddy is sick.
That's sick.
When I worked on
Cool.
Ken's Worst Driver, there was a pink Cadillac that we got to drive
That's
around.
hilarious.
It was nice.
That's fun.
Little lore for all those listening. I worked on Canada's Worst Driver back in the day.
Little lore.
Little lore.
Some context on Blake's personality.
And I loved it, and it formed everything about me. And I'm a great driver.
Mm-hmm.
So mine is teens charged in plot to kill dad.
Oh, whoa.
Yes, but there's also a very interesting one up to the left of this that I hadn't seen before. So I'm going to read teens charged with plot kill dad, and then I'm just going to zag to this second one.
What about zig?
Okay, I'll zig to it.
Okay.
Teens charged in plot to kill dad. Trenton, New Jersey. 2 teenagers have been charged with plotting to murder their father after paying $300 to a hitman who was actually an undercover policeman.
They're always undercover policemen.
There's no such thing as a hitman.
Stop trying to hire hitmen. They're all undercover.
The names of the brothers, 17 and 15, have been withheld because of their ages. Each faces as long as 20 years in prison if convicted as an adult or 4 years as a juvenile. Police said they were arrested after meeting the undercover officer in a shopping center parking lot. Police said the 2 paid $300 down as a down payment on a promised $5,000. Authorities gave no motive for the crime. Fellow students said the father might have been abusive to his sons, while a prosecutor told a local newspaper that money was involved. So maybe they were going to get some money he had or something like that.
Life insurance or something.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh my gosh.
So
dummies.
This is a part of a classified, which is like Crime Digest. It's all under a headline. And this is the second little headline here in this same Crime Digest.
Yep, I see it
corner.
there.
Ear severed in barroom brawl, Southampton, England. Police are hoping at least one participant of the barroom brawl will show up at their station. They are keeping his severed ear in the refrigerator. This man lost a substantial part of his ear and needs urgent medical attention. We would also like to talk to him because this was an extremely vicious attack.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't see that until right now while we're recording.
He lost most of his ear.
They have it on ice in their fridge.
We're keeping it.
We're keeping it.
If you want it, come get it.
And like, this was like really crazy. So like, wild.
Oh my gosh. That is wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is woman ex-boss started abortion fund. Margaret Bonnell said her joy at being pregnant turned to fury when her boss urged her to have an abortion, then put a basket of pennies on her desk and told coworkers it was an abortion fund. I was outraged, said Miss Bonnell, who was nearly 5 months pregnant at the time.
Oh my goodness.
I never
Why is
considered
the boss
abortion.
so on this? I never considered it. Yeah,
5
you shouldn't.
months pregnant.
5 months.
2 weeks later, she was fired as assistant manager for an apartment complex because she was pregnant. The 30-year-old
What?
single mother alleged in a discrimination lawsuit against the
Oh
company
my
that manages the
gosh.
property. Isn't that crazy? The lawsuit
What?
filed April 28th seeks unspecified damages. It's all nonsense. Blah, 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 blah. Miss Bonnell, whose son was born 7 months ago, said that before her firing a year ago, her boss at the Lakes of Northdale property manager Tony Henry brought out a wicker basket of pennies and called it an abortion fund.
That's a wild move.
That's wild. Coggins insisted that Miss Henry found a basket of pennies and various junk while cleaning out her office, went to Miss Bonnell's office, and jokingly said all this money could be used to pay for an abortion if that's what Miss Bonnell wanted. That was the only time that remark was made, the attorney said. However, Tracy Williams, a former tenant of the complex, said that one day when she was in the office, Miss Henry approached her with a basket of pennies and asked me if I wanted to contribute to Margaret's abortion fund. I was appalled by it, she said, and a former employee at the complex said she too knew about the basket.
So there's a lot of people that
So
know
everyone knew
about
about this
yeah.
basket.
Wow.
I walked in and saw the basket, and they were all laughing, saying it was an abortion fund, said the woman who spoke on condition of anonymity. Personally, I think it was meant as a joke, a sick joke.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal joke, but crazy. It is so wild because she was 5 months pregnant.
5 months pregnant.
And like, was it real or was it a joke? It's a bad joke.
It's
but
a
like,
no. I
you thought it
don't
was
think
real?
that's a joke.
5 months
She's 5 months
pregnant?
pregnant.
She's showing very much.
Very much pregnant, and you think someone's going around and be like, "Ha ha ha! Here's an abortion fund."
It makes more sense that it was a joke than it was like serious, right?
I guess. But I just
Either way,
can't
it's
imagine.
dumb and it's harassment.
But then she got fired.
And she got
for being
fired.
pregnant.
That's a good point. She got fired.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess this guy strongly denied any suggestion that Miss Bonnell, sorry, I'm butchering her name, was pressured to get an abortion or lose her job. So he denied it. But
Wow, she
lost
fired.
her job.
Interesting.
That's not wild.
Yeah, that's insane. You got some
livid.
crazy. You got some crazy extras today.
I know.
All right, my last one is MacGyver blamed. Parents say teen got bomb recipe from TV. Parents of a teenager.
When you said bomb recipe, I was like, oh, like really
bomb
good
recipe,
cookies.
sick nachos.
Sick
like,
nachos.
okay, you put the chips down, then you shred the cheese.
Oh, this bomb
This bomb.
nachos.
So parents of a teenager arrested after detonating several homemade bombs say he was influenced by the TV show MacGyver, in which the hero makes jerry-rigged weapons. The 16-year-old boy was arrested for possession of explosives. Police said the youth used plastic pop bottles and other household items to make the bombs. According to police report, he threw the devices at 2 homes and a car. At least 2 exploded. No one was hurt. The boy's father said his son is an avid MacGyver fan and from the show learned to make bombs and pick locks. The hero of MacGyver draws on knowledge of chemistry, physics, mechanics to make all devices to escape tight spots. Dane County Sheriff Lieutenant Steve Gilmore, who is in charge of the department bomb squad, said instructions for the chemical bombs are also passed through computer correspondence. There is an electronic bulletin board that has a recipe and the kids get it off of there. So it's like there's a website that has a recipe for like bottle pop bombs.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
The boy told police he had made at least 3 bombs, would shake them up, throw them out the window of the car. When they found the boy, police found one unexploded bomb near a car and another hissing ready to go off. The boy was referred to juvenile authorities.
Yeah.
And this happened like a lot, actually. A lot of people blamed MacGyver.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of parents blame MacGyver for
a
like,
lot of the behaviors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good old MacGyver.
Yep.
Dang. That's scary. That would not be cool if our daughter started doing something like that.
But it would be cool if
I'd
she
be a
started
little
watching MacGyver.
But it'd be sick if she would start cooking some bomb nachos for us.
That would be sick.
Well, that's our episode 18.
That concludes
for this
episode 18 for this day of June 1st. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Ghost of the Gazette, where we will be posting photos and clippings from today's episode.
Subscribe to us on YouTube at
Ghost
of
of
the
the Gazette.
You can also follow us and support us on TikTok.
Tink tank.
TikTok. For our next episode, we will be jumping to 1957. And let us know in the comments
If you think menacing should be more than a $15 fine, let us know what fine you would attribute to menacing. And keep in mind, this is in like 1980s. So
you have to do the conversion.
Adjust for inflation. And we would like your comments in Canadian dollars, please. So thank you.
Thank you.
You can also email us at ghostofthegazette@gmail.com.
Thank you again for stepping back in time with us, and thank you for listening.
Until next time.
Ooh, bye.
Bye. Ghost of the Gazette is written, produced, and haunted by Blake Garby and Kendra Clark. Original theme by Kelly Steinhoff.